What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and we have a bit of a different video today. We're going to be installing the first ever mod on the Yamaha R3. So what I have with me here is an R6 throttle directly from the Yamaha R6, and we're going to be replacing the R3 throttle with this one. And essentially what that's going to do is reduce the amount of pull you need to do to reach full throttle on the Yamaha R3. And essentially what this is going to feel like is it's just going to make the R3 feel a lot more responsive and not having to jerk as much in order to get the full power to the bike, essentially. Yeah, it should be a simple mod. It was a really cheap mod as well. I've heard a lot of good reviews about this one. It's only about $30 for this little thing, and should take no more than 15 minutes to install. So let's go ahead and do it and see how it feels afterwards. We'll go on a little ride after, and I'll give you my thoughts on if it's worth it or not, and how much of a difference it actually makes. Before we get to the install, I just want to go over the tools you'll be needing for this. It's pretty simple. Starting from the right, you're just going to need a little microfiber towel to prevent damage on the old R3 throttle. You're going to need a small screwdriver, or in my case I have this little right angle screw thing. You're going to need pliers as well, and then I believe this is a 5mm Allen key, as well as you're going to need some sort of pliers to hold down the throttle. And finally, a little bit of grease when we install that new throttle onto the bike. First things first, we're going to get our little microfiber towel, wrap it around this thing, and then we have this little thing at the end of the throttle, and that's what we're going to be taking out right now. And we're going to be using the 5mm Allen key for that. And just because we don't want to damage this little ring, I'm going to go ahead and use this microfiber towel to protect it. We're going to go ahead and get our pliers and simply grip this. So the pliers that I had weren't wide enough to grip the entirety of this thing, so I literally just ended up using my hand to clamp it and then using the Allen key to loosen it, and honestly that worked fine. The thing isn't on there that tight, so you honestly don't need pliers. You could literally just use your hand if you need. Next step after that is going to be unscrewing 2 to 3 screws underneath the throttle right here. The first one is right here. I say 2 to 3 because some years only have 2. I believe mine is going to have 3 since this is a 2019, but we will find out soon. But yeah, you're just going to need a small screwdriver, or like I said, a little right angle screwdriver like I have here, to start taking these off. After taking that plastic cover off, you're going to uncover the 2 other screws you're going to need. I stand corrected, there's going to be 2. So there is a one right over here, this one right there, as well as a one deeper inside here. It's kind of hard to see, it's behind the cables. Shouldn't be too hard to reach though. So yeah, it's those 2, and then we should be done with the unscrewing. So once those screws are off, it's going to uncover the housing of the throttle right here, this part. And I don't know if you can see in this angle, but we have 2 little wires that we're going to have to take off. And the easiest way to do this is by pulling on the throttle, and it'll loosen up those cables on either side. So first you do this side, you're going to use the pliers to take them off, or you could honestly maybe use your hands as well. Pliers would probably be easier. And then we have another one on this side, and it's probably easier if we turn it this way for that one. And now once both of those sides are done, the throttle should literally just slide off. Just like that. So when you buy your R6 throttle tube, it's gonna come with this little black plastic ring around this part right here. And it's pretty important that you take that off. It's just not needed, so you might as well just take it off. I just use some pliers to cut it right here, and then it just comes right off, okay? And then before we have to install this, we do have to lube up the inside a little bit as well. I went ahead and bought just some of this Bell Ray waterproof grease. This is way more than I'll ever need most likely, but I'm just gonna get a little bit of this and then rub it on the insides and maybe a little bit on here. Probably just on here actually, not the actual bike. So now with our new R6 throttle tube greased up, we're just gonna literally insert it and reverse all the steps we just did, starting with the two little wires we took out. We're just gonna have to reinstall those, and it's most definitely gonna be easier with pliers this time around. So you're just gonna have to kind of finesse this thing inside. And like I said, it does help to turn the throttle in the direction of the wire you're installing at that time. So for example, this one, it's easier if I turn the throttle this way and kind of just insert that in there, like just like that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that one on the back side of the throttle was honestly a pain to reinstall. It just takes a lot of finessing with moving the throttle back and using your pliers to kind of try to get the right angle to hook it into that slot. But shouldn't be too bad. It took me about 5 to 10 minutes, but just trial and error until you finally get it. Now that we've installed all the screws back on, you just want to test out the throttle a little bit, just wiggle it, make sure everything's in place, it's not too loose or too tight, and from the looks of it, it seems really good. Next step is just going to be reinstalling this little end bolt right here. And there she is, guys, R6 throttle on the R3. Everything put together. Just want to double check, make sure nothing's too loose. From the looks of it, it seems okay. So I'm gonna go get geared up, and then we're gonna take her out on a little ride and talk about the first impressions of this mod. All right, guys, had to stop by for some gas before we started recording. But literally first impressions right off the bat after exiting the parking garage and like just driving to the gas station, the throttle is way more sensitive now, and honestly it's a good thing. Like, it makes the bike feel a lot more responsive, and it makes it feel faster than it really is, honestly, because you literally just give it a little twitch and it'll start going. It'll give it a little boost, you know. Like, it's not, before you had to go a good amount of distance with the throttle before it started picking up, and now I feel like I can exit a stop way faster than I did before. And even like, I can pretty much go the full throttle distance with one pull, whereas before I would almost have to, like, especially on highways, I would have to readjust my hand by lifting it and placing it in a better position. That way I can fully extend it. You get what I'm saying? Now I don't have to do that anymore, which was honestly really annoying on the highway. Yeah, it makes you wonder why they gave the R3 such a long throttle pull. Maybe, I don't know, just to make it more beginner friendly, I suppose. But yeah, I am loving this mod so far. I will say, if I got this right off the bat, I probably wouldn't have liked it, just because of how more sensitive it is. I feel like it would have been a lot more intimidating if I got this right off the bat, because obviously you know, in the beginning you're not fully used to the throttle, so you wouldn't know. It would be a lot more intimidating essentially. Whereas now that I've gotten used to riding a bit more, obviously I'm still very much a beginner, but you know, I know this bike a lot more than I did when I first started riding, so this is honestly a really nice mod to have. And I feel like it's a nice little progression, I guess, in becoming a better rider, simply because this will allow me to have more throttle sensitivity and things like that. But yeah, we're on a little ride. Let's say it's Monday around 4:30-ish, so it might hit a little traffic, but I'm just taking a little drive to Revzilla, and I might buy a few things. Who knows? I've been wanting to get some more gear because I still don't have pants or boots, like proper riding pants or boots, and I would like to get some, so I might buy those today. And maybe a new visor too, who knows? I kind of want to get a new gold like a gold mirror visor, because of the fork stems on the R3. They're kind of gold. I feel like it would match, and I think it would look pretty cool. And then I kind of made a mistake by getting the dark tint visor, because at nighttime it's unusable, so a little bit of a waste of money, but oh well, a learning curve. But yeah, I'm like literally like, I can see the appeal of this mod and why it's so popular. And for how cheap it is too, $30, this is probably the best mod you could do for that price range on the R3. And it takes like no work, almost very easy to do. And it's definitely going to help with like wrist soreness, I guess, on longer rides. Not that I really get that often anymore, but it's just basically less effort when riding, not as much back and forth pulling and resetting your wrist, which is going to be nice. But yeah, like, I think since I probably will be sticking with this bike for a while, it's nice to know that there's little mods that I can do to kind of further my progression and my advancement of riding without having to get a completely faster bike, and just doing little mods like this to make the bike feel faster without actually making it faster. Next big mod I'll probably do is an exhaust. Probably be getting the acrobatic exhaust, so stay tuned for that. Probably just a slip-on. I don't think I'm going to do a full-on exhaust system, just because, you know, I don't plan on keeping this bike forever, and I don't really want to have to tune the bike, and we're in California, so, you know, legal stuff and whatnot. I do need to relube my chain. I'm almost at like 1,000 miles without lubing the chain, which isn't good. I know, but it's just really tedious without a bike stand. And I am in the market for a bike stand right now. In the market, like it's not that expensive. It's like $100. I just haven't. Yep. So I'm literally going full throttle right now, like without having to adjust my wrist at all. So that's really nice. Before I could not do that at all. Yeah, this is a nice mod. Very happy with this. But yeah guys, that's pretty much all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. First little mod on the R3. It was fun to do. First time actually working on this bike fully and like replacing something as opposed to just maintenance. So that was exciting. There's gonna be many more mods to come in the future. So keep an eye out for that. And I would highly recommend this mod, especially for how cheap and easy it is to do. Like, there's no reason not to do this mod, especially if you're gonna keep the R3 for a little while. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys learned something, and yeah, keep an eye out for the next video. Please leave a like and comment down below if you're new to the channel, and subscribe as well if you like this type of content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.